Hello, Bryce here from Black Widow Fishing. Today, we're going to continue our viewer-submitted questions. We've got 5 good ones for you today, and we're also going to discuss how you can win our Adult Humor sticker pack since we started meeting our subscriber milestones. So, let's get into it. Our first question asks, do you prefer a 1-piece or 2-piece rod, and why? Well, the only rod that ever touches my hands to use for fishing is a 1-piece rod. The only type of rod that I ever use is a 1-piece rod, and I recommend most people to use a 1-piece rod as well. There are a few instances where I will recommend somebody use a 2-piece rod, but more often than not, I believe a 1-piece rod is going to be your best bet. The main difference between a 1-piece rod and a 2-piece rod is obviously the different pieces. A 1-piece rod is complete. It doesn't have a breaking point or any weak areas within the rod. It's generally more flexible and more consistent with that flex over a 2-piece rod. Now, the downside to a 1-piece rod is that it's one big piece. So if you've got a 7-foot, an 8-foot, even a 6-foot rod, you're going to need a place to store that and make sure you can safely transport it without damaging your rod. That's the only place where I believe a 2-piece rod comes in handy or would outperform a 1-piece rod. Simply the fact that you can break the 2-piece rod down and you can carry it in a smaller space. So if you're limited to where and how you can carry a rod, that is the only instance that I would suggest a 2-piece rod over a 1-piece rod. Our next question asks, what is your favorite fishing technique for the fall and cold water in general? I personally don't care for fishing in the fall or winter. While I love fishing at all times, those are my least favorite times because I simply don't like being cold. Yeah, I get that you can put on a bunch of different things to stay warm, but generally, you're still gonna be cold to some degree, and I just don't like being cold. I prefer the heat much more. But when it comes to fall and wintertime fishing, you can actually catch some of the biggest bass of the year, if not your PBs during this time. And if you've watched my channel any amount of time, then you will have undoubtedly heard me say that I love crankbait fishing. Now, that is absolutely my favorite technique any time of the year. When it comes to crankbaiting in the fall and winter, there are a few things that you want to consider. The first is you're going to want a crankbait that actually dives a little deeper than maybe 5 or 6 feet. You want to be able to get it down to where those bass are suspended, just depending on the depth of your lake. I've seen them be suspended anywhere from 20 to 40 feet. You'll need those really long lip crankbaits to get down there. I also believe you're going to need one that can bounce off the bottom so you can stir up that rock and really irritate some of the bass. But also, you need to keep in mind the amount of rattle that your crankbaits have. Most crankbaits that you would use in the summer times, particularly those shallow diving ones or even square bills, they have really loud rattles. Those tend not to work as great in the cold water. So you really want to look for a crankbait that has either no rattle or a really, really subtle rattle, and you'll probably get more bites off of that. But that is my favorite technique for this time of year and just the cold weather. But if I don't feel like fishing a crankbait in a particular time or I'm not having any success for it, another great technique that I prefer to use would be a chatterbait. Now, chatterbaits, you can fish really, really slowly as long as that blade is still moving. And you know, there's some different types of chatterbaits you can use and different trailers you can use to make sure that blade continues moving while you're going slowly. But those can be very effective at this time as well. So those are my top 2, crankbaits and chatterbaits. Our next question says, why is there not a lot of actual fishing content on the channel? Well, I can tell you, there are a few reasons why there's not a lot of fishing content on the channel right now. First and foremost is I only started the channel a couple months ago. That happened to come right at the end of last year's fishing season. More so getting into the Tournament of Champions and qualifying for the state championships and whatnot. So my focus was really on just making sure I performed the best I could to get into those events, and once I was into those events, try to do well so I don't end up at the bottom of the leaderboard. The second reason is also that the channel is new. Not so much the fact that, you know, it's new and we can't put out fishing videos, but this is really my first time filming content, being a content creator. So I've been going through the growing pains of learning how to actually do this properly, making sure the equipment works all the time, which I found out anytime you actually want to record something and then put it out there for people to see, things always happen and it never works right. But of course, the times that you don't want to, everything works perfectly. So I'm learning through that process. And there's also times where I have captured many fish catches and just fishing in general, and and I didn't like the way that it looked. So I didn't think it would be right to put it out. Now, that is going to change. There will be a lot more fishing content that will be on this channel, as well as the stuff that we have normally been doing. Now that I kind of understand the grasp of it, and I believe I'm fully starting to integrate myself into the content creator world. Our next question says, from the last few subscription boxes, it doesn't seem like you were at all happy with the items. Why do you continue to get them? There are a number of reasons why I continue to get the subscription boxes, and I consider the two different boxes. So if we look at Mystery Tackle Box first, I continue to get that because that is one of my more popular unboxing videos that I do. I enjoy doing the unboxing videos. I believe that people who really watch the channel can find some value in that, whether they're looking to continue their subscription, even start a subscription, know what Mystery Tackle Box is all about, or if they just simply want to compare what they got in their box with what I got in my box. And I can say that, there are a few people that are close to me that have either left comments or sent me emails or reached out to me on some of my other social media platforms that are like, we live in the same region, but we're getting different stuff in our box and we have the same plan. That is always curious to see and compare it to the way that Mystery Tackle Box markets themselves. That is the one reason why I continue my Mystery Tackle Box subscription. Now, when it comes to Monster Bass, that's on a totally different level. First and foremost, you probably already know, if you haven't heard me say, that I'm a pro staff member at Monster Bass, and I believe it would be unethical for me to tell you guys to purchase anything from Monster Bass or even get on their subscription plan if I wasn't on it myself. Now, because I am a member, that does not mean that I'm going to pull my punches. I believe that everybody, whether it's Monster Bass or Mystery Tackle Box, likes to hear honesty when it comes to the subscription boxes and what they think. And that's what you're going to get from me no matter what. I will tell you my honest opinion of what I feel of the box. And frankly, I think Monster Bass does a much better job of pairing the particular lures that you get in the box compared to Mystery Tackle Box. But I also feel that Monster Bass puts a whole lot more effort into the way that they package their box. It's always packed nicely in the same consistent way every time I've had a box. And it doesn't seem to matter if I take that box and I shake it up crazy as I possibly can, everything is still in the same place that it was when they placed it in the box, opposed to Mystery Tackle Box, which I feel, and I have shown several times, looks like they simply just throw everything inside the box. Now, when it comes to Monster Bass, regardless of my standing as a pro staff member, I will honestly probably continue to always get their subscription boxes. I just prefer their boxes. I like them. And like I said earlier, they just take a lot more care in packaging their boxes. So we get into our next question here. So for our next question, it says, what is the next event that you're competing in? And will there be any video of the event? Lucky enough for you guys, I will be competing in an event this week, actually. Me and my fishing partner, Anthony Always Be Colin, will be fishing in a team tournament. We'll be in the NorCal Bass 2022 Veterans Day Team Tournament. That's going to take place this Saturday at Lake Don Pedro. Throughout this week, you're going to see a lot of shorts of the preparation and everything that we're doing to get ready for the tournament. You'll see us when we get to set up camp. Then you'll see us when we do our pre-fishing, which includes sitting down, going over maps, talking about weather, different techniques we want to use, finding out where we just want to go. There's a different dynamic when you're fishing as a team because you really have to take into consideration that person's skills versus your skills, and where you each think the fish are going to be and what techniques you believe are going to be effective. It's a little bit different than when you're doing a pro-am or a boater and co-angler, because in those situations, the boater or the pro makes all the decisions and the co-angler is merely tagging along. But on a team event, you guys are a team and you need to work together because you do have a 5 fish limit combined from both of you guys. So there will be video of all the events leading up to the event to include our practice on Friday. There will also be video of the actual event on the Saturday. It probably won't come out this week. Once we get back, I'll have to go through all the video, make edits. So probably say look the next week to see actual videos of this event. You can find all the links to Black Widow social media platforms in the description box below. If you checked out some of the stats on the channel recently, our subscribers has gone up significantly to 190 subscribers. We have reached that first milestone of 50 subscribers, and we are now ready to give away that Black Widow Adult Humor sticker pack. The way that you can win is pretty simple. By the end of this Sunday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, just leave any kind of comment in the comment section below on this video, and then you will be entered to win that sticker pack. Sunday night, I will draw a name, and then I will announce it on our next viewer submitted question video, which should be out the following Monday, so the next day. And then we can move right on to our free Monster Bass box since we have 100 subscribers. If you're looking to win some stuff, keep checking out the channel, and I'll catch you next time.